A fresh row has broken out between the United Kingdom and the European Union, this time over the COVID-19 vaccine exports. In a newsletter, the bloc's president Charles Michel has claimed that the United Kingdom and the US have imposed an outright ban on the export of COVID-19 vaccines or the vaccine components produced by their territory. Bloc's remarks have sparked anger in London, with the UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab writing to Michel saying that the claims are completely false. The UK Foreign Secretary said that the UK has not blocked the export of vaccines or vaccine components. The ministry released the statement saying that it has also summoned EU's representative in London. This is the latest in a series of ugly spats between the United Kingdom and the European Union since Britain left the bloc in January. The European Union is under pressure over its much criticized COVID-19 inoculation strategy, while Britain has been largely praised for its mass vaccine rollout and is eyeing a total easing of restrictions by June. The European Union partly blames AstraZeneca for failing to fulfill its order due to production problems in its European factories. However, this is a major spat brewing between the United Kingdom and the European Union. And for more on the story, we are now being joined by WION's London Bureau Chief, Mandy Clark. Mandy, for our benefit of our viewers, let me quickly read out the statement by Charles Michel. I'll just come back to you. He says, the United Kingdom, I quote, United Kingdom and the United States have imposed an outright ban on the export of vaccines or vaccine components produced on their territory but the European Union never stopped exporting. So he's essentially saying that while the UK has banned export of vaccines, the European Union is promoting vaccine exports. This has generated a strong response in London. Dominic Raab has summoned EU representative. What's the latest that you're picking up?
Well, it's counter to all the reports. So the UK is furious, is the word to describe it, about these allegations. They said it is categorically untrue. Also, the United States is also accused in not sending the elements needed for the vaccine. So that is what they're saying. It's not being sent. The United States has not commented yet, but we did see just last week Italy refusing to send AstraZeneca vaccines that Australia had bought. Australia was furious about this decision. That decision was backed by the European Union. So it's a very, very dangerous game the European Union is currently playing, where they're blocking vaccines, leaving the bloc because they feel like they don't have enough vaccines, and then accusing others of doing the same thing that they're doing. The UK has had its mass issues with the EU over Brexit, but this is slightly different. This is all about the perception of the rollout, the vaccine, and how each country is doing. This blog post that you were reading out is making a lot of allegations to the UK and the US that they furiously deny, but it's only going to dampen the reputation of the EU as a trade partner, not just the UK, but also to Australia, and making allegations. Of course, we don't know if it's true with the US, but certainly they haven't commented. But these are some of their closest allies, so it doesn't seem like a good strategic move at the moment.
It doesn't, right? And you highlighted the fact about the Italy and Australia case. But, Charles Michel has once again reacted to Dominic Raab's statement. Now, he says, and I'm quoting Michel once again, he says, glad if the UK reaction leads to more transparency and increased exports to European Union and third countries. Now, he also mentioned how the European Union is helping the world get out of the pandemic. He said again that, quote, Europe will be a major ally in freeing the world from the virus. So is it, like you mentioned, more about a perception war? But at the same time, European Union has been criticized for its slow vaccination rollout, isn't it?
I think this is playing to their domestic audience. The Europe hasn't had a very successful rollout for lots of reasons. Of course, the UK has. Now, there's a number of factors to that. It's not all down to Brexit, but what one German chancellor said is the rollout is a great statement for Brexit. So it is dangerous if the European Union doesn't get that vaccine rollout because it will be the perception. There are lots of different factors that cause the slowdown of the European rollout and why the UK one was successful. But in the simple paradigm of the population, it will be they were able to roll it out faster because of Brexit. We weren't. They really have to fight that narrative. It means the longevity of the European Union. And I think that's why we're seeing such fighting words, that there's accusations that it's actually the UK's fault that their rollout hasn't been as successful as possible. But this is really playing to a domestic crowd, but it's calling international outrage because the UK is being accused of something they say they did not do.
You stressed on the word "they say," isn't it, Mandy? And that's what the UK government is saying, that they haven't stopped any exports of the vaccines. Now, I'll read out one more statement by Charles Michel, because, the slow vaccination drive across the European Union is causing friction within the bloc. Now, Charles Michel says, I quote, "We should not let ourselves be misled by China and Russia, both regimes with less desirable values than ours, as they organize highly limited but widely publicized operations to supply vaccines to others." Now, his statement comes after Italy signed a deal with Russia to produce the Sputnik vaccine in Italy. Now, that vaccine hasn't been approved by the EU, so it goes to show that there is friction within the bloc as well.
I think that is very safe to say. There's a lot of friction in the bloc, and really what the European Union needs to do to stay united as a bloc is to improve that rollout. And I think they're looking at every way possible. The blame game is never really a successful way out of it. But if there is blocks from the UK and the US, as Michel accuses them, then this is one way they are certainly making public their rage. Of course, both sides, the UK deny that. We don't know what the US's position on it is yet. They have yet to comment. But these are certainly inflammatory accusations to their close allies.
One final question, Mandy, very quickly. The ministry released the statement, UK ministry released the statement saying that it has summoned EU's representative in London. What's the latest on that front?
Well, the fact that they're summoning them, it certainly shows the level of anger they feel over this accusation. Dominic Raab made it absolutely clear that he does not see this as a point of nationalism. This is a worldwide fight, a united fight against COVID. And he said, we are all in this together. So certainly from the UK's perspective and all the noises they're making, they are not happy about this. They want to make it absolutely clear. And I think they want Michel to take back those accusations that they say are false.
Mandy Clark, thank you so much for joining us from London with the latest on this story.